What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 285 of that's a good one. It's late. I'm not even stopping. Of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, Jared. My co-host, are you laughing? You're laughing too much.
I'm good.
My co-host, Alex.
Hi.
Oh, deliver it.
Joining us this week. Oh man, it's one of my favorite duos.
Once more, baby.
Yeah.
I can't even get over how happy I am right now. We got our pal Bob.
Bringing the lightning.
There it is. Ooh, that's a good one. And our pal Jared.
Bringing the thunder.
Ooh, man. And
It's true. If we
that's
were a
about it.
tag team, it'd be absolutely horrible.
no, it'd be great.
No, both of us are so far from athletic.
We're more of a brag team.
Yeah,
We're not.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're not talking about what you'd be a tag team in.
I do think we could cut a promo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we could do it without breaking into like some weird character voice.
I'd be okay with that.
Be like,
It's really more of the MO.
all of a sudden we're both like Southern or something.
Yeah, we're just a couple of peach farmers from Tennessee.
We can't even stop ourselves. We don't even know how it happens. It just falls into that well, and then we can't swim out.
Well, sometimes we get a bit British. It's just funny. It rolls off the tongue really well.
Right? Is the certain kind of Brits that you can't get enough of? Right?
Dear on.
Terribly fun, terribly entertaining.
But if you get a bit posh, if you get a little bit Michael Caine into it, I found a ruby the size of a tangerine.
If we get snooty,
Yes.
when we get snooty,
It's not quite British. It's a bit of Clouseau too, a bit.
I would like to bow on burger.
Burger.
I would like to bow on burger.
I
Burger.
didn't realize so many English dialects existed
I didn't either until like one of my
just
friends,
now.
One of my friends married a girl from England, some small island, Guernsey, I think. She's a really nice girl, and she had a penchant for character voices too. And I am so sad that she doesn't live in this area anymore because she was like, "Oh, I could totally teach you all of these, like the little nuances and these different characters, and you'll have all these different dialects." And I'm just like, a whole new world.
Honestly, though, my favorite is when you lower your voice and you become like the Cockney gangster. A bit of a Ray Winstone or
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Very nice.
I've watched that scene. It keeps popping up in my YouTube recommendations, and then I keep watching it, so it keeps popping up. The movie Legend or whatever it was.
I never saw that one.
Oh, where he plays himself
Yeah.
twice.
And there's the ones I'm gonna show it to you guys after we finish. Remind me, like where these guys show up to like beat the shit out of him, and like Tom Hardy just like it's like no you're not. You guys came here looking like a bunch of idiots. He's like, and then he gets like furious. He's like, I came here for a shootout, and you come here with rolling pins. Like, and he like storms out furious. And that's it.
Just like, I am not doing this.
Right.
I am leaving.
And I want to see the movie just based on that.
Yeah, that's actually a good reason to watch.
And
But I
Tom
mean,
Hardy.
If we're getting into Tom Hardy, well, now I just gotta watch Mad Max again.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Any
Remember?
excuse.
But you don't really watch Mad Max for the audio at all.
Well, for the music, of
For
course.
the music, for like the revving engines,
for the
but not for the
engines,
dialogue.
For the Doof Warrior.
For
There's dialogue?
You know the Doof Warrior where the mask that he's wearing?
It's supposed to be
His mother's face.
His mom's face.
Right? I've been on the Mad Max Wikipedia page, so I don't know if you guys knew that. Anyways, we're here to have some fun tonight. It is late on a Friday night. You guys have been working all day, as far as I know.
I started logistics for the film we were shooting this morning at approximately 7.
Yep.
and it honestly, it didn't even start this morning because it started, about 7 days ago.
About, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I'd say so. Where we got the genesis of the idea.
Okay, so let's go to the reason. I don't want to say we because you guys did put in a lot more work than I did. I kind of helped out.
I almost think of you as part of the team.
But
I mean, you took orders from me so well.
Yeah, you showed up
yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
look left, look right. All right, done. I did it.
Right.
Yeah, make sure I would like
You did very good.
Next time, a little bit faster with the coffee, and I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I think we'd be done.
Yeah,
Do
your
I-
contribution is great,
do I
but
get my
it's
own-
going on the fridge.
Do I get my? They just fist bump. I'm just wondering if I get my own limo at the premiere, and that's what I'm.
That's
Fuck no.
adorable. Oh,
Just check this watch. Okay, so let's talk about the reason we made what we made today. We'll get into what that was in a little bit, but
but we're gonna be super secret squirrel about what it is that we made today, right?
Exactly.
Until it's
maybe we'll go like
released.
50%.
Because
We'll be coy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so if you recall,
you'll be coy, I'll be sly.
I'm about to slap him. Just so you guys know.
we did post last year's entry, right?
I believe
Did
you
we ever talk about last year's entry?
We didn't talk about it, but like I'm pretty sure the pin and
Entry to what?
page, the Fantastic Fest. It's a film festival in
Austin,
Texas.
Yes.
And they do a pretty cool thing where they pitch this contest for other filmmakers to make a 30-second bumper, they call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bumper, what is that, like a not quite a trailer, or is it like a mini trailer? Or
It's
is
a
it-
little bit of a filler that have in between the films to both keep people in the seats and not terribly
Just
bored,
kind of whet people's appetite.
and
Okay.
let the room kind of air out while people are leaving in between films and whatnot too.
Most of the time, it's like right before
Okay.
film.
So it's almost like what you would have seen in the two Grindhouse films.
Right,
More or less,
exactly.
Okay. Okay. The two, like Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse.
Yeah.
There's been other ones, but
I mean, like most festivals, they're just kind of like a quick little slideshow and then like the logo of the festival. But
are they
Fantastic-
are they expected to like play movies just back to back like that,
um
or is it usually like, oh, you could catch this film here this time, and then you want to go to this other theater and catch this other film, and like it's up to you.
I went there 2 years ago, and it's for a film festival that's like as loose as it is among like the hierarchy, like the stars in the town will like mingle with anyone. Anyone they want. There's no like real like there's no VIP room or
Loose
anything
as
like
in
that.
like relaxed, not like only 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yes, there are drinks.
important.
There are drinks. But the screenings of the films are very tightly structured.
Okay.
Like there is like a sort of a waiting list. If you have like a certain type of badge, then you have like full access.
Okay.
Another type you get like first, second choice.
And
But
snack.
but yeah, it's all like very tightly structured, like block A, block B, so on and so forth. And the bumpers will play before like each film.
Does Fantastic Fest cater to a specific kind of film or a specific genre?
It is basically a full genre festival.
Okay.
Like when I went there was no like real restrictions on what type of movie they would show. I saw like a lot of like a Studio Ghibli film there. I saw Tusk when it premiered. The first
Remember
screening
Tusk?
first screening of John Wick. But most of the time, like it kind of falls like within exploitation or horror, sci-fi,
Okay.
or like low budget action.
So like would like Sundance lean away from some things?
A lot of that would be
Yeah.
stuff that Sundance would not show.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe at like Midnight Madness or something like
Yeah.
that.
All right, I'm on the same page now.
Yeah.
Like they're really like artsy, like, oh, this is intellectually filling.
Well,
Right.
I mean there is stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
I'm
not
sure.
con. It's,
Yeah.
they'll show something very ambitious and intellectual and artistic, but also they'll have like, they'll have
Like
John
maybe
Wick.
a couple grades up from a Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah,
Right, the
they
trauma
show something
dance
like that,
would
too.
be, they would show some of the somewhat similar films, but trauma dance aims for a little bit. I don't want to say lower brow by any means.
lower budget, I'd say.
Yeah, but
But,
even then, they've kind of grown a little bit.
Like for example, they would show a documentary that like canon that is like celebratory of say canon films or trauma,
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
if not like a trauma film or a canon film.
Do you know?
So you wouldn't be able to get away with something to the tier of like the old school trauma stuff playing
Yeah.
at the Fantastic Fest. They do put out. They do put up a playlist that's pretty professional.
Yeah.
But with this contest, like you could tell they're open to fun too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year's contest was submitting a 30-second bumper, and it was to Burtonize any other film property.
Right. Tim Burton was the man of honor at the time. I almost said maid. But he was the honoree at that event that night. So did he have a film that evening as well?
I think he had the Miss Peregrine's Home for Unusual
Peculiar Children.
Ah, the
Peculiar
X-Men
Children,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Burton's.
Now, what kind of British accent does Tim Burton have?
He's not actually British.
Actually...
Like, oh,
See,
look at me,
I think I
I'm
just
Tim
want him to
Burton.
have one. So give me your best Tim Burton British accent.
Oh, look at me, I'm Tim Burton.
That's-
That's
yeah.
what I made Edward Scissorhands.
that was
Skeletons, goths,
oh man.
whistles.
Weasels.
So now that we learned that Tim Burton is not British, like I originally thought.
And apparently, a husky voiced man.
So Fantastic Fest, he was the man of honor.
So yeah, they were honoring
it's to
Tim Burton
Burtonize.
last year. So part of the contest for their event was to Burtonize this. Essentially, they left it wide open, so you could take a concept, pre-existing IP or film or something like that, and imagine Tim Burton's take on that world or that genre or that film or piece or what have you.
Or even the reverse, take a Burton property and do like a spin on it. So what we did was take Pee-wee's Big Adventure and give it the kind of a tone of a John Wick movie, because there's similarities structurally. Something that he loves is taken from, and he vows revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we made it.
Yeah,
look
so
like,
much of that storyline is really parallels very well. It's like it's
Yeah.
almost like it did all the work for us.
Exactly. And that was a lot. That was so much fun to shoot.
And it stars our very own Joe, who's frequently a guest on our show, guest host. Really,
Yeah.
he's one of our prime five that comes with us.
Star of the piece, Joe Van Allen.
And
He absolutely knocked it out of the park for that piece.
And I believe you got kicked in the face and shot too.
Yep, I got kicked and shot. I was a thug, even though I'm credited as a goon. I was told I'd be showing up for thug work. And all right, so
Talk to your union rep about it. I'm sure they can.
so we spent a lot of time at Kyle's shop, Decimated Designs, doing some work.
Yeah.
And Kyle is a helper. His name is Joe. Knows how to do a lot of stuff. Does a lot of the film working with him. And I was like, Joe, I need your take on this. I need some backup. And I was talking about the John Wick Peter Herman piece, and he was like, "Oh, I watched that," and I was like, "I'm in that. Like, you don't see me because like I'm dying or getting kicked, and like I'm just a blurry of hair, like a biker dude." And I'm like, they told me to show. They asked me if I could show up and be a thug, and I was like, yes, I'll be a thug. And then like in the thanks, because there wasn't room to include it in the bumper itself, so there was like a thanks and credits page.
Yeah, no credits.
And now I'm credited as a goon. And before I finish, Joe goes, whoa. He's like, a goon and a thug aren't the same thing. Those are way different. And I'm like, thank you. I was a little hurt.
Well, I don't want to directly say it was a reflection of your performance.
Would you say that a goon is more British?
I think of a goon as less intelligent.
Give me your best British goon.
Hey, boss, is this where I put the big hammer?
God, you guys are good at that.
Sure is, mister.
You says I should punch him a few times, right?
I says you do.
All right. Should you just say when? I'll start with the punching, but then you make sure to tell me when you want me to stop.
I'll tell you to warn back, and then when I say go, you give him the full thrust, you do.
Wait, you want me to full thrust him or you want me to punch him?
With your fist, I mean.
All right, okay.
Learn semantics.
I'm sorry, sometimes I get turned round.
My God, it's our own bloody language.
That was a good goon. That was good. That's what I had in mind. So, goon and thug.
I'd go home and tell my parents that I got to thug today.
Right.
But I'm not going to go tell them that I was a goon today.
Well,
Right.
Yeah,
see,
but you weren't straight thugging.
You have to earn thug.
Yeah.
Let's be real, based on your performance.
Whoa.
I mean,
I think.
Pay your dues. Pay
So
your
you,
dues.
so you
little bit
guys
more
released.
Anyway.
You
And,
guys released.
you were a bit more thug.
It was P.W. Herman, right?
John
So it was
P.W.
John
Herman.
P.W. Herman.
Yeah.
And
It played at the festival. It played in front of this movie called The Bad Batch with Jason Momoa, Jim Carrey, and Keanu Reeves. And I was not able to attend the festival that year, but a friend of mine who was told me it got a huge ovation. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
And it got an honorable mention in the contest, which is awesome too.
that's super rad. Because I didn't even know you guys were making it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing that was happening. Like, either I was not paying attention, or everyone was playing like the cards close to the chest. Because like once that came out, I was like, when
Well, to be honest,
when
it's
was
one of those
this
things-
happening?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that once it happens, once they throw the word out to the world that like, hey, here's your possibility, just go for it. You've got a really short window of time, not only to hammer it out, but to send it in.
Right.
And that was basically what happened this year too. Is they have a bumper contest again this year. This year it's the theme is a monster
Creature
feature, and it was one of those things where we didn't even 100% know that we were going to do it until about a week ago.
Yeah.
And-
It's just a matter of planning and resources and whatnot.
And because those of us in the area who have worked together a couple times and have different ideas and whatnot, we made, well, I guess you guys made like a group to talk on Facebook, like a little private group chat. And it's like, here's the thing. Does anyone want to do it? What do we think? And some people would pitch some ideas, and we'd think like, what's possible? What would we want to use? Like, what kind of creature could get made? And so, like, I figure some people are thinking of like, what story would we want to tell? And other people are thinking like, what creature are we gonna make?
Right.
And then it's like, 30 seconds, I'm out.
Right.
right.
It was
The
one of
30-second limit is tough.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, especially like when you're dealing with having to make a monster, it is kind of like a cart before the horse situation, because we got to know like what we have to work with.
And then like what would it be? The genre or the theme? It's like, well, do I try and make it legitimately scary?
Right.
Or do I make it a drama?
Right.
Of like, well, when Frankenstein throws a little girl into the lake, like it's sad, but it's not necessarily scary because he thinks pretty things should float. Makes sense, like the flag. Anyway, but then it's like, do you try it as something more comedic, or do you try it as something like a warning message? Because if you leave the radioactive reactors and you never dispose of the waste, you're gonna cause Godzillas.
Yeah.
That's how those things happen, right?
Multiple.
Multiple.
Yeah, that's pretty much how those
Plural
conversations
Zillas.
go. It's just like, except it's all kind of boiled down to a statement. Dude, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Pretty much.
Oh, I just went blue. Oh, I just made this explicit. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Oh, it's not the first one
Oh,
actually.
man.
Jared got the first one.
But I waited far
Yeah.
enough in.
We're good.
Okay, good.
We're cool.
We can say blue.
It's our show.
PP.
Caca.
Wiener.
Oh, okay. Now we're
All
just.
right, let's not go
okay,
too far,
Jesus
guys.
Christ.
But
Let's-
You're gonna get muted. We're gonna have to restart this.
So, what was
do? Oh, never mind.
you guys decided you wanted to do this one?
Yeah.
And there was a few ideas kicked around, and then suddenly before I knew it, Bob and Jared, the boys, were like calling me up saying, "Hey, we just left Kyle Pachutis at Decimated Designs," and I was like, "When?" I thought I was included in this party, but I guess not. So,
Welcome to my life.
but,
Actually, when we were down there too, I was just like, "Hey, is Alex going to be around today? Is he coming down for this?" And we were like,
Why would Alex be here?
"Yeah, did you call him? Did you call him?"
oh,
but Kyle did he did offer for you guys to come to the shop and see what he has, because he has like a lot of stuff around and he has a catalog full of things. And
buckets
Yeah.
and buckets of latex,
yeah,
which smells weird.
oh yep,
Just
you get used to
saying.
it though. Yeah,
also
It's
lesson
fun.
learned. Sniff more glue, kids.
Don't
There's a-
sniff glue, kids.
yeah, that's contact cement, not necessarily glue. I'm sure ordinary
It's
glue
the
is
good
fine.
stuff, though.
it's real good.
Okay, but you're just comparing like a hot dog to filet mignon. here.
Jeez.
But what was the catalyst that was like, this is the thing out of like all the ideas that you guys had?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Well, we went down to see Kyle to kind of brainstorm a little
He
bit.
loves it
and
when we
also-
say his name too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We went down to specifically the Decimated Designs warehouse to see Kyle Bashuti and the brilliance that is the Decimated Designs building.
It's a generator of what's a good adjective here?
Of good things.
Of good, yeah.
Good evil things, gore and galore.
It's a factory of I don't got it.
There's so much stuff you can't.
It's
narrow
just
down
haunted
to
happiness
just
down in that building.
There it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
haunted happiness.
So we went down to see Kyle Pashuti of Decimated Designs, and just basically not only to brainstorm, but also to see what was readily available on hand, to see, if he had something in storage that we'd be able to, turn into what would work for us in some way.
Kind of
that would-
reverse engineer a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically like, oh, well, you've got this face hugger looking thing over here. Let's
And then you
grab
burned
that
it.
and let's pretend it's an alien egg. Let's pretend a guy's at a restaurant and he orders a boiled egg and the waiter shows up with the alien egg and he goes to crack it with a little spoon and then it opens up and then at the end. We were literally hoping to kind of get inspiration when we got in
You
there.
didn't do that one. That was a good one.
Yeah,
That was
we didn't do that.
No, okay. Well,
No, we didn't do that. But I think
Unfortunately.
you're probably better off, honestly.
But we went in there and there wasn't anything specifically made up, so it was kind of up to us to sort of pull a rabbit out of our butts.
So we kind of came up with something on the spot. And
Well, it was an idea that we batted around.
Well, yes,
before.
that's true. But then we just kind of finalized it right then and there because tick-tock, tick-tock.
Right. It was like, hey, we don't have a best, easiest idea right now, but this was an okay thing. We can go with it. Want to do it? All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
And so is that vague enough so we're not giving away anything either?
That was pretty vague.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know nothing.
If I barely know anything about it. So and I like to think that it's
Now,
pretty
the good news is that the piece is due next Monday, Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Are you serious?
5.
Yeah.
The 5th.
I thought it was the 5th. And you think it's the 6th?
It's the 6th at noon.
Okay.
And currently, it's the 1st.
So we just shot it today, and by we I mean Jared's going to be cutting it up this weekend.
Yep.
And we're going to be able to deliver it by Monday, or Wednesday, right? One of those.
Yeah.
One of the days.
One of the days of
Still,
next week.
that's because what would because you guys shot today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys complete shooting today?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
And that was how many hours?
We started rolling. Well, we got here at the location around noon. 30.
Didn't really start shooting until maybe like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Right.
Like 3.
And then
Then
wrapped
finished up at, like,
sometime
7 or
around
8.
7.
It's like 5 hours of filming ish
Ish.
that you need to whittle down to 30 seconds. And what is it like? Is there a standard for filmmaking? It's like X seconds of work equals X hours of time.
Oh, the editing.
Oh,
Yeah,
there is
right.
for editing. There's a general notion of
Well, in writing 1 page of script equals like a minute of actual like film.
right.
But shooting time usually doesn't translate to like
Right. Yeah.
running time usually because it depends on the complexity of the scene, how many setups and different elements you have to deal with.
you could literally shoot 5 days in a row and have a piece that's only 15 seconds if you were all over the place with your setups and whatnot.
Right.
That's why action movies take so long.
'Cause,
Or like you take an entire week worth of shooting to make a 15 to 30 second commercial.
Mhm.
Right.
Because like cameras would roll, but then they would stop to reset or move to a different spot and then roll again. And so each in between, could take like a half hour, 20 minutes. So it's not like they're rolling for 3 hours straight.
Right. But there's definitely more content that you guys filmed than 30 seconds. So that needs to be
There's stupid jokes that we'll definitely have to trim out.
And multiple takes too.
One more for safety.
Right.
One more for safety.
all in
And for the
all.
most part, though, we were kind of.
That's my catch.
I thought we kind of rolled pretty tight today, though. I think that
Oh, yeah.
it'll be
this
a
was-
relatively easy edit. But on a lot of things, when we're doing stuff in the past and whatnot, there's a lot of goofing in between, and plenty of other little improv bits that we'll throw.
For sure.
So one of the things that I brought up while the boys were setting up because they have an eye for light. We've never really considered lighting for anything we've
At all, ever.
goofily shot, to put on our YouTube page or whatever.
I know.
But
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
no, it's okay. That's why you're here. So like they were setting up, checking like, oh, you've got warm lights in here, and like I'm gonna put in these different bulbs because that'll be more like a daylight kind of look to it, and
Right.
like where they would bounce light off of and everything, and it was kind of neat to watch. And so one of the things I had said was like when you're watching other entries, because it's a contest, so you're being compared to them, and like how often do you look for the same thing that you worked towards? Like, do you notice someone else's lighting and what they might have used and where it was placed, and if it could have been done better, and like because like you're watching a scene, but like none of the lights are in this scene, so how do you know what their setup could have been? In my head, like I'm like, I don't know, light happens.
There are hints. There are ways where you can see where the light is in the room and where the light is falling onto something.
I always tend to look which way the shadows are being pointed.
Right.
It's the best. It's the easiest way to figure out like where the source is.
Aim for reflections both in the eyes and on other objects.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just natural light too.
But yeah, we do notice those things, and it's what, as much as you never want to actually quote with fingers here judge somebody else's work, it's hard not to think about like, oh, how would I have done that, or how would I have gone about doing this, or like would I have tried to do, or why didn't they just do the
What the hell's wrong with them?
what the hell but then again, I have those same exact thoughts when I look back at anything we do. What the fuck were we thinking? My God, why did you let me? Why did I let you shoot that? Yeah,
He says that way more often.
true. You were rolling for that, God, dude.
Lesson learned, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of those ways to help learn your way around those things too. Is like you see not only the mistakes that you make, but the mistakes other people make, and kind of try to remember that, so not to do that. Be like, oh yeah, no, I know. Remember that time that we went to go shoot and I did something that stupid, dude? Yeah, no, we did not get full coverage on that. We are missing a huge important moment right here. Oh Jesus!
I had just shown Kyle a little video. It was from one of those you know how the pimple popping thing has gotten popular on videos, like a doctor's office. They'll show you like removing a cyst or something gross like that.
God, I'm so
All
glad
All
I
right,
don't pay
all right.
attention
So
to that.
one of these showed up. It's like, oh, it's someone removing an ingrown hair, and like I'm watching. I'm like, that's not a hair. That's a piece of yarn. That's like a really long yarn. And like
Nice.
in like wherever he's pulled, I can't even tell because it's so messed up. I'm like, there's no way. And then like they go to like fake squeeze it, and it's just like that's not how you do that either.
Yeah.
And like it's just like he's squeezing Vaseline now. So I was like, Kyle, look at this. And he goes, oh yeah, you can see that all the silicone's right there.
Right.
That's all just silicone. And I was like, yeah, it's of course that's
I knew
what
that.
that looks like. Yeah, it's
Do you ever
Obviously,
find yourself-
silicone.
Do you ever find yourself looking back at any makeup piece that you've done or anything along those lines, and just looking at the footage of it or the pictures from it and go, oh my God, those seams.
Oh, yeah.
I can see them so cool. Oh my
Definitely.
God, why didn't I put one more layer on that? Whatever.
or just why didn't I say no to something?
Oh, well, there's that.
Yeah, there's one I definitely wish I just said no.
The topless scene.
No is in like, I wish I didn't do this thing altogether, or I wish I didn't do that one thing that they asked for.
When you're working on a set, right, and like the director hands you the script, and you look through the script, and you're like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Right.
And then it's time to shoot. Day of shooting. You prepared all your stuff. And then one of the actors says, hey, I thought of, what if I could get this? And you're like, is this the director's idea? And the guy's like, no, I thought it would be cool. And you're like, it's your first time. You don't know what you're doing. You just go, well, all right. I guess I can come up with this.
That wasn't part of the plan. I wasn't hired for that piece of makeup.
And
have other things to do.
Yep, never wish it was there. Wish it was never happened. just said no, or it's like it's not in the script, so whoops, you're not getting it. But nope, there it is. Yep.
Next time, just be like, "Oh, that's not in my contract. I'm sorry."
It's not what I'm not.
You have a contract? Not exactly, but no.
It's
Just say it's not in the budget.
It's tacky to talk about money. It's just
Yeah,
just
not
get
in the
to
budget
work.
is a good line though.
but that was one. There's other stuff where like I can point things out and I know like there's a mistake or there's like a fold in the edge, but like other people don't always notice it, or I can hide it with blood or something.
right.
But yeah, or like the stuff that I make like thankfully doesn't get zoomed in on. Doesn't show up like in a still scene, which is also nice. But like it is neat like when I try to watch for scenes and like can I see what they did here? Can I tell what it is? And then I even love it because like I'm a hobbyist for makeup, but when I can't tell how to do something, that's even better. The one that always really the one
the best.
that really freaked me out. This is gonna be weird. One of the Lady Gaga videos.
Oh yeah.
Where she had pointed shoulders.
Okay.
Her shoulders like came up to points. It was not like severe, or huge,
Right.
but like they came up and were pointed. Yeah. And she had these weird cheekbone things too. But like the shoulder pieces were prosthetics, or I hope they
Appear to
were.
be.
Hope they weren't like CG or something. But like I couldn't see a seam. She's moving, dancing, and nothing's wrinkling.
Right.
It looks like it's supposed to be there. And I don't know what material that is. I don't know how it's applied because none of it's like it's moving with her like it's her real skin. I was really impressed. But like I said, I have no idea how it was done.
Yeah. Did you ever try to look into it? Do a little bit of research on it?
You know, I kind of should. There's a group on Facebook. There's two. There's the PEG Practical Effects group, and then there's also a
All Things Practical.
This
Wasn't
is
that one of them?
This one's PEG Practical Effects group, and that's full of makeup artists and model builders and like people who are in the business. And usually, some people will post something. They'll post a commercial or like a clip, and they go, "Hey, who worked on this?" And like they'll reply, and someone will be like, "Oh, that was Gail, or that was so and so," and like they know. And sometimes they're a member, and they'll describe, you know, the process of doing it, and like, and it's neat how like they know each other, you know, because they're doing all this cool work.
Yeah.
And it's like there's some kind of they're not real people. They're so far above me. Like here I'm in the same group with them on the internet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you sat down and had a burger with one of these people, that's
Oh yeah, blew my mind.
yeah.
But they'd be a regular person.
Yeah.
But it's cool that happens. And sometimes they'll just, you know, just post something of their own. It's like, oh, here's when I built a model of one of the enterprises that got exploded on the Next Generation series. It's like, you built a model of and it had to get exploded. Like, this is the coolest stuff.
That's got to be so depressing, though. You spend all this time building this piece and just let somebody else pull a little trigger, so it just go boof.
But then when they realize they didn't film it right, and they have to blow up the second one that you made, too.
Oh, man.
Because you made two of them, just in case.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But that's neat. It's like I could look into that. I could try and check and like, you know, or deep dive into Google and see if there's any answers on Lady Gaga's shoulders.
Be a good way to learn.
Yeah, you're right.
A little bit of learning, a little bit of personal growth.
One website I go to a lot is for the cinematographer Roger Deakins.
Yeah.
For those of you like who don't know right off the bat, like he's known for all the Coen Brothers movies. He did Skyfall. He's doing the new Blade Runner right now.
So he's
like,
pretty good.
He's like he's the best of the best.
Wait, did you say what he did? What is it that he does?
He's a cinematographer.
Cinematographer. Okay.
Yeah. And
wait, please, I'm sorry.
So you'll have a dude that's the camera operator.
Okay.
And you got a dude that stands kind of behind him who's basically making all the visual aesthetic choices for lighting, shadow,
color.
and color,
Yeah.
essentially. Now, granted, the director has a lot of control over the most part. And usually the two of them work out a visual style very directly.
But the cinematographer is the one who executes that vision.
Right. If you say you walk into this room and you want to have it like a noir feel, and you want this desk to feel like it's, you know, makes you a private eye, the cinematographer is the one that's like, okay, I'm going to put up some fake blinds here, shine a light through it over this way, and he doesn't even have to do that. He says, "You grip, you gaffer, you grab a scrim, grab an 18K. I want you to go out this window, blow it in this way." I need.
Wait, there's a
knock
fan
that down.
now?
You know,
Give me your best British cinematographer.
Deacons.
Hello, I'm Roger Deakins. I was the cinematographer for Skyfall.
So he responsible for setting up that shot with the introduction of the villain?
Yeah.
Because that everyone hails that shot as like one of the greatest shots.
That was one of my favorite shots.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like
it could have been the director's idea,
right.
but he puts the camera there, he lights the room, and makes sure the camera's in focus. He may not operate the camera, but it's all under his supervision.
And that's one of those gray areas too, where you'll never truly know whose thumbprint the visual aesthetic is on a piece.
Right.
But you can go around and look at a bunch of like Fincher films. They have a very specific palette often, but it's because
That's
who's
the
his
director's
DP?
signature.
Who's Fincher's DP?
Jordan Cronenweth.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name, so I was just pretending like.
Oh, I thought you were quizzing me.
Director of
bump it up.
photography and cinematographer, same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was going to
There it
ask
is.
that too.
There it is.
That was
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about I'm just going through like the famous who's like Scorsese's?
He
does he
he
vary?
doesn't have a usual guy.
Few, right? So
Like mostly like Robert Richardson or
those in the past.
yes. I forget who shot his last movie, Silence. It'll come to me. I think it was Darius Kanji, I believe.
I don't know.
Dude, I can't for the life of me remember.
But,
I just know I
names,
like
remember
watching
them
his
all.
tracking shots.
Yeah.
Because did you ever see the video of how they did the one from Hugo?
Yes.
And like how you can see like all the stuff being moved out of the way and stuff to make it unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane,
Unbelievable. And like everyone's exhausted when it finishes. Like the guy who was like holding the camera is like winded, like
But going back to Roger Deakins, like his website, like his cinematography is something like that a lot of other cinematographers just gush over.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like the creme de la creme of DPs. But you go to his website, and almost like every shot of every movie, he has like a very meticulous breakdown of how he did it, like down to the filters in the lights. And I don't know why I'm not there every day
Right.
looking
good
at
lord, he's done some movies.
Oh, you're looking at
Yes.
his
Shawsh-
IMDb profile?
Shawshank Redemption,
yeah.
No Country for Old Men, Beautiful
yep.
Mind, and Skyfall are just the top 4 that come up.
it. Mm-hmm.
Sicario, that scene on the highway, good lord.
Yep.
So much of Sicario was amazing. The when they went to the night vision
Yeah.
goggles, and oh my god,
Now, have any of you guys seen
this
these?
is gonna turn into just us stroking the egos.
Have any of you guys seen these?
Oh brother, where art thou?
Yep.
You mentioned you did a lot of Cohen.
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
I've seen some of it.
That is that. If someone like officially named it the most beautiful movie ever made, just visually, I would not disagree.
Huh.
Because goddamn. Goddamn.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But yeah,
Needed doubt? Jesus
the guy's
Christ.
he's just an open book.
Hmm.
Like he's not pretentious. Like, oh, it's in the magic somewhere. It's all in the ether. It's like no. Here's what it did. I took notes. If you want to recreate it, go for it. Here's the camera we use. Here's the film stock. Here's the lighting. Ugh.
And
Film stock.
it's like the longevity speaks a lot to his talent too.
Yeah.
Like he was born in 1949. So like, typically you see like a lot of like the up and comer with the new vision. I got the vision that people want to see nowadays. You're old news, man. Get out of here with your Shawshank Redemption. That was we're not in the 90s anymore. But like he's still
Well, I'm
like-
sure there are punks that say that. I'm sure there are plenty, like every day at film school, kids are showing up saying that. But
I'm like a new age Roger Deakins. It's like how every male chef who lives in the United States calls himself the next Bobby Flay.
oh god,
I consider myself, like a Bobby Flay. Okay, whatever.
Every male film student director wants to be Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's.
Or Christopher Nolan.
I mean, Roger Deakins only been nominated for. Do you know how many Oscars?
No.
Off the top of your head,
10, I think,
13.
and he hasn't won.
He hasn't won.
Nope.
yeah,
What the
which is ridiculous.
I love him just based on our 5-minute conversation now. He's had another 79 wins and 128 nominations, according to IMDb.
Well, not for the Oscars, but
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's all nominated for most recently Sicario.
and he's probably the biggest reason why I want to see the new Blade Runner, because I'm very very cautiously optimistic about that movie, but knowing that he's the one shooting it, at least it'll look good.
Right. And it does. So far, even the trailers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how far into the post-production they've gotten with putting up the trailers, but because often a lot of trailers kind of get, sent out with not the full grade, but my God.
Not full grade. Sometimes the CGI isn't
pretty.
like quite finished. Enough to pass for a trailer.
Did you guys see the article online? A girl had put down her entire knowledge of Quentin Tarantino based on first dates with men who insist on talking
God.
about Quentin Tarantino.
No.
Dude.
And it was like paragraph after paragraph of like what guys are all saying about how good Quentin Tarantino is, and she's just like, all right, next date, and like there's more, and like it goes on and on. It was sad but entertaining.
God.
Is she specifically dating dudes from the
But it's not on
film
purpose.
school?
It just happened. I don't know.
late 90s, early 2000s?
Some of them would wear fedoras, So
Yeah. Well, I mean, his voice definitely speaks to like men of a certain age.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of Tarantino.
Yeah.
Not so much the Hateful Eight. That
Oh, yeah. We went down to Rhode Island to see the Hateful Eight and the
in the
IMAX.
big.
Full 70
Yeah.
millimeter. Yeah.
It was a gorgeous
Right there.
movie, but it didn't do it for me.
Oh,
like
okay.
the visuals were stunning, but overall, it was very long,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of words and not a lot. And I was like, okay, and this is happening. It didn't do it for me personally.
I felt like he was going back to his like Reservoir Dogs roots, but like with a much
The single
larger
location,
canvas.
yeah.
I
Yep.
did it. But,
And I don't like all of his things. You know what I mean? They don't all speak to me.
Mhm.
But I do find that I at least enjoy, for the most part, a lot of them. And I'm not a writer too, so I kind of do get, for lack of a better term, bored with heavily, dialogue heavy, where they really like to weave their way around,
Depending on like
conversations.
the film, like because I could watch all of Christoph Waltz's scenes from *Inglourious Bastards* for the rest
Yeah.
of my life.
because I mean,
Like,
choose
that-
scenes like
That kind of dialogue, love it. Just unbelievable tension, everything that he's saying, and even in Django, I guess I just like listening to Christoph Waltz talk.
that's his strength, Tarantino. Like he can use dialogue to escalate tension in such like a
Yeah.
palpable way
Mm.
that sometimes it doesn't even need the shootouts. I mean, it helps certainly, but
All the guts,
yeah.
classic
But,
Tarantino. What were we talking about?
Where are we going? with
Roger
this?
Deakins.
Should we-
Deakins, yeah.
Yeah, it's cinematography and visuals.
Do you think the prison guard named Deakins in the Shawshank Redemption, who came up to Andy to do his taxes, was named after Roger Deakins?
Yes.
Like almost assuredly, right? There has to
It's
be.
very feasible.
There's always some sort of in joke like that. Yeah.
Guys, can we discuss how good the Shawshank Redemption is?
It's a
Can
good
we?
movie.
Good lord, that movie's good.
Not only on a storytelling level, but just a pacing.
Based off of
level.
a Stephen King novella.
Yeah. Definitely top tier Stephen King.
You know, if you like Stephen King work and things that are based off of his work, we made other films. It's inspired by Stephen King. A Girl in the Basement.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
you didn't know he was going there with that?
No, it took me a moment to get there.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I got
was turning it all back around.
I
to be
arrived a
about us
little
again.
late, but I eventually caught up.
I gotta say, as great as a writer Stephen King is, I think he's vastly underappreciated as an actor. Because Creepshow.
I thought you were going with Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, well, that too.
Got him.
I love that movie.
That movie's so good, dude.
I love that movie so much.
Can we just?
Oh,
we're just gonna
man.
spend the rest of the episode talking about Maximum
Can we
Overdrive.
just talk about like the dude from Breaking Bad in dying in the arcade? God, the guy who gave you that razor blade. I forget his name right now.
Oh, Gustavo.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
He was in Maximum Overdrive.
He wasn't he the kid that was in the arcade that got electrocuted?
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Wasn't he the dude in the arcade? I could be horribly wrong and making an ass of myself.
I'm
I'm very
Googling.
good at that. That's kind of my forte.
If they could put that face on the front of a truck, why couldn't they have put that face on the Goblin Glider fighting Tobey Maguire?
It's a good,
You know?
yeah. And if anything, show that movie as a proof of concept,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And you could
Yeah.
probably, all you need to do is digitally, pull that face right off and just plug that on. I bet you somebody at home could probably do that right now with some
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
If they wanted to.
It's absolutely Giancarlo Esposito playing Star Castle, and he's getting electrocuted. Yep. Oh, there he goes.
Which I mean, like, how you don't really
Look at Emilio. I'm sorry. Go.
you don't see 18-wheeler Mack trucks with like faces on the front anymore.
No,
Like, I don't know how popular of a thing could that have been.
it is more popular now to see them with like spikes
Yeah.
on those wheels.
There's a
Like,
couple
versus
with
they
like
really come
Optimus
out with
Prime
blades, but-
flames and stuff.
Or skulls, maybe.
Yeah, but it's like the new Optimus Prime, not
Yeah,
the
it's-
classic.
no, it's not.
Not
It's
the
not. You're
classic
right.
Optimus.
Yeah,
The
the good Optimus.
big murdery Optimus.
My favorite kind of Optimus. if
Murder
we had to pick, give me your best British Optimus. You don't have.
All 2 volts. Roll out.
It's a Julia Child
Goddamn.
Prime.
I was like about to do the same thing. I was gonna go.
He was
Julia
like,
Child.
he's like hesitant about rolling out. Maybe roll out.
Bumblebee. Don't do that.
So
Wait, Julia Child was French, right?
she did French cooking. Jesus.
One shall stand and one shall fall.
You guys see? You guys see those?
the touch.
Yo, we discussed the touch. That's where this episode's going tonight. It's 10 o'clock at night on a Friday. We're feeling good. Have you seen those videos that Wired puts out with the dialect guy?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
He's done 3 of them so far.
Yeah.
Oh, the
He's done
the
4.
guy who's like a voice coach.
Right.
I've only seen 3.
So
yeah,
he's done 3 genuine ones, right?
I've seen the 2 genuine ones and the one with the fake accents.
Okay, then yeah, let's. Nope, he had a third one.
Where he talks about how people's, how they did, and where he
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like sound like.
And it's not
Look
like
at how
he looks at so much, and he explains like for Northern or Southern Americans which way they curl their tongue to pronounce an S. Which like Northerners we like curl our tongue upwards for an S, whereas
Right.
like others will curl it downwards for an S.
Right.
And like he's like even going through like the guy who was playing Biggie Smalls, and he's like he's not lazy enough when he's talking. Like he's actually trying too hard to speak, and like he has to like loosen up his mouth a bit more. And even like we're like lip placement and like are your lips tense and everything, and
the amount
so
of
much.
motion in your jaw,
Yeah.
how much you drop it if you're trying to do a southern accent.
Mhm.
You have to like drop it a lot.
Yeah.
and like the
'Cause-
resonator
I'm
and
doing
like
that right now. I'm just keeping my jaw dry.
where do
For
you
the most
put
part,
your
when if you really want, it sound like you got like a craw full of chew. You just drop your jaw down a little bit, and
Like someone put a turkey base for
Slur
like molasses
well.
and put it on the bottom of your mouth.
for the most part, and you could just talk like this all day.
Like it's full of marbles, but
No, give it to me with a British accent.
What can I do, southern and British at the same time?
God save the Queen, man. God save the Queen.
There it is. But yeah, he did a new video.
Crumpets and tea.
There it is.
Wizzles.
He did a new video on
I took
Actors
the
who-
lift.
actors who were imitating like real life people, and if they got their accents correct or not.
Like,
Like,
when did Ray?
yeah,
Sorry.
yep. Started with Ray, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Julie.
yeah.
That's reminded me because he did Julia Child.
yeah
Julia Child. That's her name. Yeah, the cook.
Julia
Yeah.
Child was the cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Meryl Streep just absolutely obliterating in
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
way, like just nailing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Um,
didn't she play Julie Child in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Julie and Julia.
that's what they're talking about.
Right.
Which then like for ha-has they throw in a scene of John Wayne as Genghis Khan. He's like,
Oh God.
we just put this in here as a jokes. Moving on. Like not even gonna talk about it.
Right.
Because they did the similar one for Nicolas Cage in Con Air.
Oh my God. that was so annoying.
Con
Now,
Air
don't get
is
me
a
wrong. Our accents.
Con
are
Air is
horrible.
amazing.
It's terrible
Oh, I thought that's
cheeseball.
where you're going with
But
that.
my God, that. Do we want to have
We're not gonna talk about Con Air?
We're not.
Yo,
with
Con
Con
Air's
Air.
so
We're
good.
not- we're not
We
gonna
can
talk
have
about
a
Con
we
Air.
can have a varied opinion about Con Air.
He was a lethal weapon and was in
Are
prison
we gonna
for it.
have a Cage off here? Or are we gonna do a Nicolas Cage?
Are we
impression?
seriously going to face off right now?
Yo. Was
All
it
right,
you who
all right.
retweeted that a couple weeks ago? Like, what if Face Off is actually a bad movie? And you're like, no, God damn it.
Dear sweet Christ, no.
Wait. So what's all right? Since we're here, what's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
Favorite Nick Cage movie?
Everyone always goes Raising Arizona.
Can't.
Because
Well, no, that's what I go.
he won
I'd
the
probably
Oscar,
say
yeah,
Raising
for that
Arizona.
one.
My favorite Nick Cage performance.
Oh.
The Black It Out.
No, that would be Deadfall. Now this is a movie directed by one of the Coppola kids.
Okay.
And it's
How many are there?
A
Four?
couple. This was not one of the more successful
Okay.
ones. And it's like it's trying to be kind of like a Blue Velvet, like neo-noir sort of thing. And for the most part, everyone kind of plays it, cool, daddy, I'm gonna commit some crimes, man. Trying to keep that like level of just chill.
Yeah.
But Nick Cage comes in like a homicidal Tony Clifton.
The guy who hung out with Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
The guy who is Andy
Maybe.
Kaufman.
Maybe.
And
Possibly.
I swear to God, like
Or Paul
there is
Giamatti.
I don't know how much cocaine that man snorted before every single take for that movie. Good lord,
A lot,
a
probably.
lot of cocaine.
But that's your favorite?
That's my favorite performance because he just does not give a shit.
I did love his performance. God, I cannot remember the name of the piece, but
Ghost
he
Rider.
he played a character where he thought he was a vampire.
Vampire's
Yep.
Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss, thank you.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to drink blood, but it was making him sick.
As
He ended
it
up
should.
biting the head off of a bird, and I swear it looked like it was real.
Probably.
He did eat a live cockroach for that movie.
Well, I mean, that's not that hard.
Oh, come on. Divine ate a poop.
Okay.
That's commitment.
that is true.
Are we talking now? Is it on to me?
Yeah.
Favorite Nicolas Cage movie or performance?
Both.
I don't know, because I mean, The Rock is pretty great.
The Rock is legit.
The Rock is good.
But as
Michael
far
Bay.
right, that's what I'm saying.
This,
Yo,
before
you
we
ever see
understood Bayhem.
movies with Mikey when he did Pearl Harbor, and he was talking about like the stuff that Michael Bay's done that's actually like pretty great, like the Got Milk commercial. Aaron
Yeah.
Burr, right? That was Michael Bay.
Bo.
Aaron Burr,
The Meatloaf video. 'Cause I would do
right?
Every Victoria's Secret commercial that was awesome.
Yeah, Michael
Michael
Bay.
Bay.
And like I don't mind Michael Bay too much.
Depends.
You know, yeah.
What was the movie he did with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg?
Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
That movie was fucked.
That was actually pretty impressive. Like as far as like not only just a film goes, but just like it's got some artistic chops.
Yeah.
Look at when the dude shows up. He really shows up.
Definitely something that suits this town.
Just saying.
In the episode of Movies with Mikey when he did Pearl Harbor, and he starts talking about how like he's really good at that spin shot where like it showed like other examples of people trying to do the spin shot and
Yeah.
failing,
No.
whereas Michael Bay just accidentally is amazing at it.
Well, no, you know what? And I don't think that it's all that much of an accident because his lens choice is usually very specific. And I'm gonna forget and say it backwards or something like that. But if memory serves, he uses a longer lens and he zooms it in a little bit to usually kind of compress the background a little bit.
Yeah. Makes it seem like it's spinning faster.
And,
Right.
and almost like the world behind the characters is moving.
It's like whirling. Yeah.
Insurmountably
Yeah.
fast. You know what I mean? He does that damn well because he is a brilliant visualist when
Yeah.
he gets down into it.
Almost
Like we
savant
could talk about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder does have a very strong visual style and he can make beautiful images, but we can piss and moan about his artistic,
Yeah.
decisions.
Sometimes the
in
two don't quite
Make an
correlate.
entire
Right.
show out of
But
complaining
have-
about both of those guys.
But I have an incredible amount of respect for the both of them,
Right.
just on a technical level.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were to shoot the piece we did today, it would probably not be as funny, but be a spectacle that was beautiful and visual.
Yeah.
And higher budget.
As
Much
far as
higher budget.
favorite Nicolas Cage movie,
Might be
I don't-
Snake Eyes for me.
I've never actually seen Snake Eyes. It might be Face Off for me, which kind of sucks. I feel like that's a cop out.
Well, but it's Face Off.
Right? Yeah, Face Off is awesome.
Lee Bad.
Ass.
Nice one.
It is. It's pretty much full ass.
Awesomely badass is what I was going for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There it is.
Because
You finished my sentence and then I finished your sentence.
Yeah, I was trying to correct.
It was seamless.
He took his face off. I did the motion, by the way.
That's key. It's important.
But the doctor's dead and you can't put it back on. What?
But then we can afterwards.
Wait, did they?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
God,
and he
I
got
don't
his scar removed because fuck his dead son. He has a new son now.
Oh, jeez.
I've replaced him. Oh my god.
If you always dress up like it's Halloween, goblins are gonna try and get in your pants.
It's the guy from that 70s show. It's Hyde.
You stab in the leg and then twist the knife so the wound can't close.
He was a good dad.
Yeah.
He only tried to kill her that one time.
Yeah, well, one's all you need. Get the point across.
It's a good movie.
What about you, Alex? So you like Raising Arizona?
It's Raising Arizona. Because that was like what my, oddly enough, that was like one of my childhood movies. And when I grew up, I wanted to be like the bounty hunter who was in that movie.
I've never seen Raising Arizona.
Tex Cobb.
Makes me
Oh
uncomfortable.
yeah,
Tex Cobb was this this motorcycle riding, like leather wearing, had like a shotgun holster built into his bike, and he carried on grenades and throwing knives and like a knife on a chain and shit, and he would chain you and he was amazing. And Nick Cage was in it too.
And he won an Oscar for it.
But like, he goes head to head with this guy and tries to beat him up. John Goodman's in it. He's a dude who's in it, and
I love John Goodman,
John Goodman,
by
he's
the way.
John Goodman
But can
was
we
one
give
of
a
the
little bit
best.
more love to Tex Cobb and how amazing it was in The Golden Child?
was he one of the fighters?
Yeah, he was the dude that the kid ended up brainwashing him. I guess he touched him, and he became friends.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and then
right.
He kind of became the kid's Sherpa from that point on. Just throwing that out there because I want the knife.
And he was like a football player at one point or something.
Right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I
Oh.
do that guy.
Very underrated Nick Cage performance. Bringing Out the Dead, the Martin Scorsese movie, where he plays EMT driver, pretty much dying from exhaustion on a really, really bad night in New York. Good movie.
I was wrong, by the way. He did not win the Oscar for Raising Arizona. He won it for leaving Las Vegas.
Good movie. I would call it a batshit insane movie.
That's good.
So it's a Nicolas Cage movie.
yeah. Also John Goodman.
And can I get a little love for the National Treasure films?
I
enjoy them.
love those movies.
I enjoy them.
I like a little bit of mystery and problem solving and a little bit of action and a little bit of crazy Nick Cage.
Right?
Sean Bean. Come on.
And I thoroughly enjoy adventure quests when people
Yes.
have to go find a thing, and I mean,
It's been
since we
hidden for
only
thousands
have
of
3
years.
Indiana Jones movies, and I'm adamant about that.
Yeah, we only have 3.
only
I
Only
agree.
3
Yeah, there are
Indiana
only
Jones
3.
movies, and
So
so they've
really
been a long
only 2
time.
good ones. Whoops.
Again, we have
Hold on now.
we have
Hold
varied,
on now.
we have varied opinions on this as well. But I personally enjoyed those films.
Yes, I agree. 100%. First time I saw National Treasure was with my my ex-girlfriend back in 2000 whatever. I literally have it up here in front of me. 2004. Just 2 years after the Wind Talkers came out. Remember Wind Talkers?
Nope.
I have fond memories of Wind Talkers because my dad rented it on VHS, but the tape was trash.
Oh.
So like every 3 minutes we had to like rewind a minute and then it would actually let us play. It took us like 4 hours to watch Wind Talkers. And Christian Slater gets his head cut off in it. So
Spoilers.
what were we talking about? National, and like my girlfriend at the time, she was literally on the edge of her seat the entire movie. Cuz like it was tense. It was awesome. Sean Bean, like Alex Trevelyan's going to get to the Declaration of Independence first. At the time, all I knew Sean Bean in was
006.
yeah, exactly. It was Goldeneye because Goldeneye was like my jam back in the day.
Well, not
And
even- not
to
even
tie
Lord of the
back,
Rings?
to tie back, and
Never
still
seen Lord of the
following-
Rings.
Do you think of
And
The
I'm
Rock?
gone.
Do you think of The Rock as being in the James Bond canon?
See, that's what he says because he says he's in Her Majesty's SAS.
And it's kind of implied that it's
I am
James Bond.
100% okay with The Rock being in James Bond canon.
I'm kind of okay with it too. to be honest. And I know it's sacrilege. And most of my friends, they're like true hardcore Bond fans. They
As
wanna
we
stab
begin
me.
to wind down, who, in your opinion, because I have a very strong opinion
See,
of
I'm
this.
wound up right now. So I don't even know how you can
In your,
end this show.
I'm going on another question. We're just going on movie questions here. So we talked about our favorite Nick Cage performances. Now let's talk about our ideal. Who should be after Craig steps down? Who would be your ideal James Bond? Because Craig is doing the next one. He's already signed on for that, right?
Yep.
Right. He might be signed on for 2.
Okay.
That's like.
Would that make him like the
that's just a
most
rumor.
James Bond since
He
Roger
will
Moore?
have been James Bond the longest, if they do 2 movies, and the most amount of times if they do 2. He would just be. No, wait. Maybe he might be 1 short
Because Roger Moore did a
of
lot.
Roger. Yeah, he might be 1 short of Roger Moore, but he will have been Bond for the longest number of years if they make 2.
I'm Googling it.
I'm not good at actors.
Normally I wouldn't. I just have a really good answer for this, but it's the answer that everyone else wants, except
what I
for
wanted a number
except
of
for
years
old
ago.
white men who vote for Donald Trump.
Before Daniel Craig, I wanted Idris Elba.
Idris. Yeah.
He would be
Idris,
amazing.
Idris.
Would he not?
Idris.
I just.
He would
say
like.
Idris. I'll say the Idris.
He canceled the apocalypse. Roger Moore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Sean Connery came back, and then Roger Moore came back for 7th.
But I do think we're a couple years late for Mr. Elba.
He's
think
getting
so?
up in years, right?
A little
He's coming up on 50, right?
So I'd kind of like to see somebody else that is maybe an unknown.
An unknown would be good.
Would
I'm
would that be something that you would want to slide John Boyega into?
No,
Okay.
not really. And no, the only action stuff I've seen him in is, of course, Star Wars as a fan, but Attack the Block as well. And I haven't seen Detroit yet.
Yeah, I mean to see that too.
But too much of a boyish charm.
Okay.
Too much of a playful
so
naivety.
if Idris is going to be a little too old, then John's a little too young.
Whereas like when I go with an Idris Elba,
A lot of it's personality. Too.
he
Okay.
can, with just his eyes, tell you that he's happy to kill you. Boyega doesn't really.
No,
I
yeah, no,
almost
he
called
doesn't.
him like Chef Boyega or something. I just completely fumbled his name.
Boyega,
But
he can't
Boyega
kill
doesn't
you.
really have, or at least he hasn't done anything that I've seen so far that where he really shows a more threatening side of him. You know what I mean? Even with a lightsaber in his hand, I'm just kind of like, oh, stop
You're
it.
cute.
You cut it out.
I have thought of one,
that
but you
jacket
guys are
looks
going to
great
hate
on
it.
you.
Lay it on me.
You're going to hate it.
Probably.
Just because it's like, it's the most like far left answer I could give. Andy Samberg.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm assuming we changed subjects.
I don't.
And I
I
wasn't
don't
paying
hate.
attention.
I don't hate your answer. I hate you.
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you suggest Andy Samberg as Bond? Like, were you thinking like the original, like the first time we had an actor play Bond, which was Barry Nelson playing Jimmy Bond, the American CIA agent?
You guys make movies with him. You know
Did
that?
we used to?
You just got yourself fired, son.
Jared, quick production meeting.
Time to erase my name
I'm
from the
motioning
credits, huh?
to
Long story short,
remove
fuck this
Prime.
guy.
I know what's the logic? You just like Andy Samberg? Get some funny songs out of it.
Who was the director? There was a director that said he likes hiring comedic actors, because they could do anything.
Yeah, usually when you have the ability to handle comedy, it means you have the the ability to portray a lot more in the way of both timing and kind of inflection.
If we're gonna hire comedians, though, Peter Serafinowicz, come on.
I have no idea who that is.
Who?
He played the roommate in Shaun of the Dead.
Our Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
What a
He was
bunch of
the
ideals.
Lord Covington in Parks and Rec.
He's now the Tick.
Right.
For the Amazon series.
Okay.
Yep. I like him because he was in John Wick 2. The one scene that I've seen from John Wick 2 is when he's like getting ready for dinner or whatever it is.
Oh,
Quote dinner.
he went to the
Yeah.
sommelier.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sommelier or whatever it
And
was.
I may or may not have had a raging semi during that entire scene.
That whole scene again, just from my YouTube hopping, because I'm a big sucker for gun buying scenes. Because they're
You're not
neat.
even like a gun man. Right?
I'm not.
You're like,
No,
you're
not
like,
at all.
No, I have no interest
I'm
in
not a
owning
big fan of
firearm.
guns because they
But
make me
the
uncomfortable.
scenes with
But the scene,
toys.
Taxi Driver,
In movies.
the gun buying scene, that's a great fucking scene. That movie with Kevin Bacon and John Goodman, was it Kevin Bacon? Where he's buying
Kevin
those guns?
Bacon and John Goodman.
Was it Kevin Bacon?
Death Sentence?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Tremors.
And it, no,
Right. Well, that did have a good gun
that's
scene
the
though.
best Kevin Bacon movie, arguably.
Untamed Heart. What?
Footloose.
And then what else is it? John Wick 2 had a scene like that where like with the suit and the guns and also
That beautiful Benelli shotgun. My God.
I like when he brings out like the flatware. It's like all the knives.
Oh, the cutlery.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Yep.
Flatware. I like
It
that.
was Italian cutlery, if I remember correctly.
What other like even like Terminator?
Oh, when they walked into that little bunker.
No. Like when
Terminator 2?
in Terminator when there's that, but then in the first Terminator when he's like asking for the whatever the pulse
I'll
rifle with
take
the
9mm.
But if we're gonna do it like a gender bend of James Bond, Emily Blunt.
Oh my God, I would
Straight
so
up.
be okay with that. I'm not even kidding. I would so be okay with that.
She can pull like that cold look, like
yep.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She can kill it in action. If you haven't seen Edge of
Live, Die,
Tomorrow
Repeat.
/ Live Die Repeat,
Yeah,
then put that in your face.
What's up with that? Why'd they change it?
because
Stupid marketing.
Because dumb.
It's the same reason John Carter, Warlord of Mars, was just
Princess of Mars.
He-
Wasn't it John Carter, Princess of
No,
Mars?
it was just John Carter.
Right.
It was like, what's this movie about? I don't know, a guy named John. It wasn't Warlord of Mars, it wasn't Prince of Mars, Princess of Mars. No,
Right.
It was just like, there's other Mars movie that came out that didn't do that good. So let's slash Mars reference from our marketing.
From John Carter.
So we're just gonna change the name, so we're just John Carter.
So I don't watch a whole lot of movies. The latest one that I saw that I've been checking for the DVD constantly is Baby Driver.
Oh my God.
Right. Okay. So unfortunately, we do
haven't
not have
seen it
time
yet?
to go into Baby. No, Baby Driver's amazing.
No, I got.
I'm dying
I can.
to see-
I can sum it up. Babies can't drive. You guys. Just,
God damn it.
this is
You know,
No,
you know
I'm
he's
sorry.
right. He nailed it right there. Babies
Look
can't
Who's
drive. That's
Talking
three
too.
words.
I haven't even seen the movie yet. I just know that babies
Do you
can't
not
drive.
have
I've
So
seen
it
Look
sounds
Who's
dumb.
Talking. I remember clearly the baby drove.
Every
No, the kid.
single episode
It was being
of The
towed by a
Simpsons
tow truck, Bob.
has that scene.
It wasn't
Oh,
actually.
dude, just
baby,
ruined my dreams.
Yeah, there was a tow truck there. He wasn't actually driving.
Oh my God.
Surprise.
Oh God. My
Pay
whole
attention.
universe
Pay attention, thank
crumbling.
you. Yep.
You know a movie I want to talk about for like 3 minutes because we're out of time. Do you guys see Arrival?
Yes.
Yo,
I haven't.
Yo.
Colin made me watch Arrival, and it was so good.
I wanted to watch it a bunch of times, and then, but when I finally got time, it wasn't in theaters anymore.
Right.
I have a DVD in the house. You can borrow whenever you're ready.
I read the short
Put that
story it was based
in your
on,
eyes.
and before I saw the movie, and walking in, I thought, no goddamn way they're gonna keep that ending. Some Hollywood thing
Is it
gonna
the same?
Get in the middle of it, and it's the same.
Huh.
They puffed up like the military build up a little bit. Just for
Yeah,
that tension.
yeah.
Easy. You don't spoil.
But
I'm still blank. It's okay.
that ending is still
The ending.
straight from the short story.
So it was one of those things where you're shocked when, like, you can tell a producer didn't get his hands dirty and just ruin it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
This was definitely like a passion project for the writer, the screenwriter,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get it made as it was.
Shot so painfully well.
Oh my
the one with a
God.
really flat tone with a lot of the exteriors and whatnot that I was kind of surprised with they kept. But my God, it was beautiful.
I think that was
But we can't bring up Baby Driver and just leave it on the table. I'm sorry.
True.
But so Prime, have you not seen Baby Driver?
Correct.
Okay.
the fuck is wrong with me?
We to say
I
that
know
we
at least one of
geeked
us in
out-
this room hasn't seen Spider-Man: Homecoming, so I mean
That's me. I don't see a lot of movies.
It was worth seeing. It was worth seeing when it comes out on
Yeah, it was
DVD.
fun.
It's-
We just watched
that's-
Ant-Man 2 weeks ago.
See, that's a different reaction.
Little behind.
The boys just went, you know, it's okay. Whereas me, it's like you haven't
Yo,
seen
Baby Driver.
See, now the thing is too, like, yeah, Spider-Man's gigantic, so many millions of people have seen this.
Right.
Not as many millions of people have seen Baby Driver by a long shot, but
He's
it
a
did,
Mozart
it did
in a
okay.
go-kart.
No, it was a hit.
It did pretty well. It definitely went over budget,
Yeah.
but my God, to say that we geeked out during watching this movie is to put it so lightly. Mouth was agape for the first 6 minutes, 8
Well,
minutes.
there's the car
Yeah.
chase, which is on YouTube. The first 6 minutes that they release in anticipation of the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's that tracking shot.
that.
Yep.
Yes,
The Harlem Shuffle scene. Good lord.
Fucking God.
I think that might be on YouTube as well,
I'm sure in some ripped form.
and it's worth just seeing on YouTube.
Yeah.
It
And
won't spoil the rest
the
of the
music, the music is just. I love Edgar Wright.
film. And that's the thing. It was so beautifully put together. The film from top to
meticulously
bottom.
planned.
To choreograph the entirety of the actions, the beats, the editing, and all of that to a not just score, but soundtrack. Oh my God.
It takes time
Yep.
and dedication.
The planning that went into this.
And it's an original IP,
Yeah.
like
Completely original, yeah.
which you don't see too much of these
I mean,
days.
one could argue that like some of that stuff's been done. You know what I mean? Trying to get out of your contract with the mob type of thing. That's,
Right,
Oh, yeah.
that exists,
It's the Transporter prequel.
right? If that kind of thing is, and it's nothing new under the sun in that realm, but this is the most original way of going about it that I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
It's not the what, it's the how.
Yeah,
And boy, how.
When when you talk about the soundtrack, I recall someone's review of Suicide Squad, where they're talking about like, yeah, there's so many songs on the soundtrack. It's like I wonder why they decided to include this many songs of popular songs for a soundtrack, and they just keep showing you scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, it's as if someone else did it and it worked really well and reacted really well, so they tried
Yeah.
to copy that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it didn't work as well.
But when Guardians,
But-
yeah. Sorry.
But well, yeah, Guardians worked, but Suicide Squad it didn't.
Because they didn't really plan it out.
Right, like you're saying, it's like when you plan it out and you actually work
Yeah.
on it. But since you're saying like so like Guardians came, then Suicide Squad came, and then like Baby Driver came, and like did it right with like Suicide Squad in between, like not getting it correct.
Right.
It's
They-
like
yeah, Guardians set it up.
it's one of those
Like,
things of like
guys, look at how good this is.
Yeah.
When you want a great soundtrack put to something that you can be fun as hell, and that when it's done by someone who loves what they're doing and loves the music, and is taking those pieces and placing them in there because they parallel or are specifically hand selected for the scenes, for the moments, and then Baby Driver just goes like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But excuse me while I whip this out.
is it like a hold my beer thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's
yeah.
cute, but hold my beer.
And not
Give me
not
your
to
best Edgar
belittle,
Wright.
not to belittle James Gunn's people by any means. My God, that man is brilliant. I've enjoyed his work since like back when he was playing around with the Trauma people. But
Did he do Suicide Squad?
no,
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 no.
no, James Gunn is
Oh, James Gunn.
Yeah, that's
oh,
what he's
I
talking
thought
about.
you said like James Roma.
No,
I was-
no, no.
yeah, whatever that guy
he
is.
works in Trauma.
James Roma
Pictures.
Trauma.
didn't
He was
know.
affiliated, I suppose you could say, with some Trauma.
Yeah, no, he wrote a
Did you
couple.
guys ever see Super?
Yeah.
Yes,
I like that movie.
yes,
That movie's fun.
That shocked the hell out of me. Yeah, I was surprised by a lot of that.
So Baby Driver was good apparently.
God
I
damn.
enjoyed
Yeah.
Baby
Even
Driver.
though babies can't drive.
I enjoyed
so.
Baby Driver.
I really enjoyed that. It was a movie that had me giggling just out of just happiness
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like they make you hate the right people, like you hate them, and like the people you really like, and you root for them,
yep.
and like
And then when the people that you were really enjoying decide to take the twist and turn,
right,
you just love them
Fuck.
for it.
Jesus, I did not. Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways,
And I hope to see it was not John Hamm, right?
yep.
Remember
Yeah.
me? Right. I hope to see John Hamm in a hell of a lot more because it seems like he hasn't done a lot since
Madman.
at the end of Mad Men. My God, that dude is amazing, and he needs to do a lot more.
Yeah. For sure.
Go see Baby Driver. It comes out on. It's like on digital in a couple weeks, and then Blu-ray in the end of September, October, or something like that.
Try and see in the theater. You
It's
assholes.
gone. I mean, even in second run theaters.
Oh man, guys, I could talk about movies with you all night.
Sorry.
You guys are a lot of fun. I like you both. You're pretty
Sorry.
cool too, Alex.
Thanks. Pay attention to Fantastic Fest.
Yeah, there'll be a cool thing
so,
coming out.
By
because
so
they-
we're gonna be sending it in soon, but we can't actually share it with anyone until after the event.
When is
Until September 6th.
And doesn't the event post
No.
it or share it?
The event isn't September 6th.
No, the festival is September 20th.
You're right. We can't show it to anybody until after the festival.
No. The films will be posted online on September 6th. On
Okay.
like September 7th.
And we
for
can't tell
voting.
anyone.
We can.
Okay.
Well, we can't tell them until they
Next
launch.
year.
you guys are giving me conflicting
Until-
information?
So
So
when
we
it
can't tell anybody about Fantastic Fest, or they're going to their website
It doesn't
or checking out.
when it gets posted,
I'll
we'll
stop.
let
We'll
you know.
share the hell out of it.
And then you can go vote. Right? There'll be a voting process.
You know, it'd be awesome too is if somewhere in like the posting areas or something they see maybe popped in a link or something like that to the submission that we had last year by chance.
Yeah,
the
it's always
John
possible.
P.W. Herman YouTube link or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll think
You know,
about it.
never thought of that. I never would have.
Just throwing that.
Keep your eyes peeled.
I'm pretty sure I posted it last year, but
Yeah, but I
We'll-
mean,
we
you
can do
pop
it again.
again.
We'll
That's
pop
just
it. Yeah, we'll
because,
throw it in there again.
for topical reasons
Mhm,
and whatnot. Maybe bump ups like Girl in the Basement or something like that. Or
GITB, that's what I call it.
If you were cool.
maybe throw up the answer on.
I
scrolling
still
phones on
remember
the,
the day Jared Dropboxed the storyboards to the answer, and I was like, this right here. That's going to be it.
hmm
we had a lot of
Anyways.
fun with that.
Okay.
I've been picking slime off me for the past hour.
Yeah,
All right.
it's pretty great.
Well, until next week, I was Bob.
Oh, look at me. I'm Alex Squires. I run a podcast. Wizzly Woozly.
It's really accurate.
I'm Jared Skolnick.
I'm JR.
No, that's everyone. Jared got everyone. Thanks for listening. All right, no, I'm actually Alex. That wasn't the real Alex.
I was going to
before.
wait until you did it.
Oh my God, you guys totally fooled me with that.
Yeah,
You totally had me.
Yeah, that was-
Oh my God, I was
that
sitting
was-
right here and you had me.
That was Jared doing a Cockney Thug Alex. That wasn't really Alex.
Wait.
Yeah, he fooled you.
Goon Alex.
Oh, and we're
That you-
bringing it back.
You did that was the Goon version.
That was the
I
goon.
hate that version.
And this has
I've
been
never heard
episode
Thug Alex, so I have no
285
frame of reference.
of Opinions May Vary.
I can't believe you do that to me.